I'm sure everyone is familiar with the story of Pandora, with the idea of Pandora's box from which all sorts of miseries emerged. The story of Pandora comes to us from Greek mythology. It's actually part of the retribution that the Olympian gods took on humanity for Prometheus stealing fire and bringing it to earth. Pandora means all the gifts. And when Pandora was created by the Olympian gods and sent to earth, the story is almost the equivalent of the story of the fall, our Genesis story. She comes bearing gifts that are not really terribly pleasant. And they come in a container. The original container is described actually as a jar. So Pandora comes to earth where she opens her jar and suddenly all sorts of dreadful things begin to emerge from it. Sometimes they're referred to as the four horsemen of the apocalypse: famine, death, war and plague. And all of these things immediately begin to roam through the earth. And Pandora is horrified when she sees what she's done, all of these terrible things coming from this container. And she rushes to try to close it. But she's too late. All of the dreadful things have escaped. And when she looks in her container, in her great jar, there's only one thing left: hope. That's what's left to Pandora after all of the terrible things spread through the earth. Hope is what we have now too. I was speaking yesterday to a businesswoman who was really very disappointed because this weekend would be the third time she's had to close. And I could understand her frustration at just being allowed to open this week and then close again. We're going to have to close our church again too, and of course all places of worship are going to be closed. Synagogues, mosques and temples, as well as the churches. But we can look to the future, we can look to it with hope. We're given hope, for instance, by the medical professionals who have been working so hard to discover new ways of treating people infected with COVID-19. And we have the hope of the vaccine. So we can hope to the future. This Advent we can look forward to our churches reopening. St. Paul puts it this way: and now abideth these three, faith, hope and love. And as he reminds us, the greatest of the three is love.